So what can we discover, first of all, about the ministry of the Spirit in the Old Testament? And we can summarize it. We can summarize it in various different ways. Let me try and summarize it in as simple a way as possible by saying the Spirit appears in the Old Testament as the creative power of God and the revealing presence of God. The creative power of God and the revealing presence of God. And we do at least get hints within the Old Testament that in this sense, the Spirit of God is the executive consummator of the work of God and the revelation of God. It's by the ministry of the Spirit of God that the plans of God come to their effective consummation in our world. And we've already got that hint it seems to me, in the opening statements of Genesis. The Spirit being present with the Word of God in the event of creation. So, unless you believe in instantaneous creation, which I think relatively few people today believe in instantaneous creation, that God said, and it was already the seventh day, that creation is actually a progressive activity of God and not something that kind of appears full-blown in an instant kind of thing that, if I remember rightly, Augustine held, that the days of creation were simply an analysis of boom, and the whole thing arrives in a one-hour, as it were, a single package deal. So unless you hold that view, then you understand there is progress in the event of creation. That there is this whatever the formlessness is, which is such a negative term, and especially for people who find it difficult to conceive of anything that is without form. There's formlessness and emptiness. And it's within that context that the Ruach begins to work. And as you know, scholars divide on whether Ruach should be translated as wind, and therefore, in that sense, part of the quotes chaos, or as I'm certainly inclined to think myself, for a whole variety of reasons, needs to be translated as a reference to the Spirit of God, however limited Moses' understanding might have been of what precisely that he meant when he spoke about the Spirit of God, bird-like hovering over the original creation and bringing out of that formlessness and emptiness the form and the fullness that is later described in Genesis chapter 1.